What's up, BeachGrit? Chris Cote here on location in Arecibo, Puerto Rico, and I'm sure much to the chagrin of the BeachGrit viewership, I am your embedded reporter since no one else wanted to do it. Well, let me talk to you about the path to Olympic glory. So a lot of surfers, the big names in our sport, qualified via the WSL Championship Tour. All right, the Toledos, the Carissa Moores of the world. So those names have been locked in for quite some time. We had a few other qualifiers via the Pan Am Games, but it all comes down to this. The ISA World Surfing Games 2024 here in Puerto Rico is the last chance qualifier for Olympians to get their path all the way to the end of the road at Teahupoo in Tahiti, part of the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. Now, this event started off with 6 slots available for men individually, 7 slots for women individually. There are 2 additional slots, 1 per team. Now, the highest ranking team, men or women, they will get an additional Olympic spot, potentially giving a 3rd spot to a team like Brazil or a brand new spot to an up-and-coming surf nation. Now, here's what happened on Friday and Saturday, 2 penultimate days. It's one of my favorite words to say in commentary. 2 penultimate days in this surfing competition. I'm going to start off with telling you the story of the women's qualification. The women's Olympic qualification picture started to unfold in front of us on Friday. This is where the numbers were crunched and we started to figure out some of the names that had potential to qualify. Now, at the end of the day on Friday, we started to see Olympic dreams dashed and Olympic dreams coming true. Here is your list of official women's qualified surfers that came from right here in Puerto Rico at the ISA World Surfing Games. I'm going to start with your number 1 qualifier, Nadia Aristarbe from Team Spain. She absolutely ripped her way through this event. Make no mistake, Nadia is an Olympic threat to get on that podium and potentially take a medal. Then we go down to Sol Aguirre. Sol has been so close to CT qualification. She's won a ton of junior events. She is on fire this year in 2024, and she made a huge statement here in Puerto Rico, got her name on that list. She is a qualifier for Team Peru. Tanya Hinkle, relative newcomer out of Brazil, but taking big names down all the way on her run nearly to finals day. She is your Olympic qualifier for Team Brazil, pretty much putting an end to the drought of female surfers that we haven't seen a lot of success from Brazil, other than Silvana Lima, who is pretty much the biggest name in female surfing from Brazil. Then you've got Tatiana Weston-Webb, of course, who really, I think, put a shot in the arm of female surfing out of Brazil. Anat Lelior from Team Israel, another qualifier, a fiery surfer representing Israel. She has been smashing her way through heats, taking down the biggest names in this sport. Another one of our new favorites, Yolanda Sequeira. Now, she's had a stellar junior career, has had success in QS. In her post-heat interview, she said she is going to win this contest by any means necessary. If that means going face first into a bed of urchins, she's going to do it. Expect big things from Yolanda Sequeira at the end of the road in Tahiti. She is a force to be reckoned with, a rad surfer. And yes, I am looking at my notes, because here's the thing. When you're talking about Olympic qualification, especially as a professional announcer, you better have your facts straight. Because if you say a name and they don't qualify, you're in big trouble. So we move on. Janiri Gonzalez Extabari from Team Spain. So now you have 2 Spanish females qualified for the Olympics. You've got Camilla Kemp, Team Germany. So we have a German surfer qualified for the Women's Olympic Games. An incredible story there. But I think most people will say their favorite story from the women's side of the draw here at the ISA World Surfing Games, the first ever female surfer from China to qualify for the Olympics, 14-year-old Si Shi Yang, an absolute hammer. Si Shi goes out and surfs with reckless abandon, straight-faced, but you can tell she does it with a lot of heart, soul, and passion. And she is going to be one of those surfers that could seriously do some damage to the field in Tahiti. So expect big things from the 14-year-old phenom from China, Si Shi Yang. Plenty of drama to talk about on the men's side of the Olympic qualification conversation, so let's get right into it. Team Peru, represented well by Alonso Correa. He is the first surfer to qualify here from 2024 at the ISA World Surfing Games. He did it with power, he did it with style. The dude's an absolute hammer, and he is fearless. Expect big things from Alonso Correa in Tahiti. Ramsey Bukiem, he qualified last year for the Olympics during this same event. So this year, Ramsey Bukiem took down some of the biggest names, pure power, savagery out in the water. The dude is an absolute hammer every time he surfs. He's been going off down here. He is an official Olympic qualifier. Some new names. You might not have expected to hear these names in the Olympic Games, but guess what? They're here and they're ready to rip. Andy Crié, Team Spain, came through. A name that I really hadn't heard much of. I think I saw him in one ISA event previous, but he's an absolute jackhammer. I know I've been saying hammer a lot, but that's how I feel when I think of these athletes that go out there and rip these waves to bits. Andy Crié did it with power, did it with style. He's a very handsome guy. He looks like an F1 driver, but he's going to be at the end of the road in Tahiti competing for Team Spain in the Olympics. Rio Waida, you know him, you love him, the Indonesian ripper, officially qualifying for the Olympics here in 2024. Here's another name you may not have ever heard of. I don't think I ever heard this name in my whole life. And I've been commentating surf events for 74 years. Tim Elter, Team Germany. So this guy, this goofy foot destroyer has been hacking his way through the field. Again, taking down some of the biggest names in surfing on his way to Olympic glory. Tim Elter, put him on your list of surfers to watch in Tahiti. And of course, the Flying Frenchman did it literally with a last-second Hail Mary wave. He's an amazing barrel rider. He's quiet. He is an assassin. He is Joan Duru. He will be pulling in, hucking himself over the ledge in Tahiti as part of Paris 2024, the 6th and final Olympic qualifier from the individual scenarios here in, where are we? Puerto Rico. Well, happy hour is about to start here in Puerto Rico. We got one more day of work. The finals is tomorrow. Our Olympic scenarios for individuals might be filled, but there are still a few spots on the line, and a big story that everybody's been watching, Team Brazil. If Team Brazil gets the overall men's rankings victory, they will get that 3rd spot. But who will that spot go to? Will it go to Gabriel Medina, tried and true at Teahupoo, one of the best to ever do it at one of the gnarliest waves in the world? Or will it go to Yago Dora? Yago Dora has been the absolute standout here in Puerto Rico all day long, doing massive frontside 540 slob. The dude has been on fire. He's no slouch in Tahiti either. So either way, Team Brazil could field a surfer that will most likely give them the best potential for a medal in Tahiti. Taking nothing away from Felipe Toledo and João Chianca, both amazing surfers. But come on, this is Gabriel Medina we're talking about. And this is also one of the most on-fire goofy footers on planet Earth right now, Yago Dora. So apparently, whoever finishes higher out of those two will get that 3rd Olympic spot. But they got to earn it via a team win. So there's a lot still at stake here in Puerto Rico. Finals day coming up. I'm sure you've been watching. I'm sure you've been complaining. I mean, this is BeachGrit, of course. So to all you haters out there, why don't you just celebrate what's been happening down here in Puerto Rico? It's been an amazing time. A lot of joy, a lot of passion in and out of the water. A great event. If you haven't tuned in yet, tune in for Finals Day. It's going to be the greatest show in surf. Tell me about it in the comments below. I'm sure you're already typing away. See you guys tomorrow.